there's still a revolution. Brothers and sisters taking a stand, standing up for what's right and demanding equality.
Good evening. Welcome to another dynamic, exciting time on Mike's Variety Hour. This week we're going to continue discussion talking about current events, local, national, statewide. And I have joining me this evening is Monica Ball, a community activist who has a lot of good things to share with you. So how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Back by popular demand. It's wonderful, and God has blessed me again to come back on air. And when Mike called me today, he said, guess what? I need you back, and I'm back.
Hey, I appreciate you coming.
I'm very glad to be here.
Yeah. So remember to call in 915-5202. We're going to be talking about current events on a national, local scene. Also, if there's anything in particular that you'd like to talk about that's of particular importance to you, give us a call, and throw it out. We can talk about it. If you got any issues where local, even in domestic, even in your house, you got any problems, give us a call, and we can help you out.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
And what would we want to start tonight, Mr. Mike?
Well, you said you had some local news, yeah.
Yes, just today I was honored by my president at the NAACP chapter. Also helped, last week I introduced you about the veterans. Before we even get started, there go that phone ringing.
Hey, welcome to Mike's Variety Hour. Our guest, Monica Ball. How you doing?
Hello?
How you doing?
We're doing great.
Yeah, how you doing? My name is Chad, aka Chief Infinity.
Chief Infinity. Okay, what's up?
CI for short.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I was trying to wonder about Frank D, cause Frank D he's like a backbone to my newfound flow, and I was wondering, do he have anything to do with y'all show?
Yeah.
Do you want something you want to talk about?
No. Yes. Yeah, I would like to about how hospitals they learn how to do medications, and because I'm in the hospital right now just watching this show, and I'm really thinking about my man Ernest Oliver. I took him to the backstage show, the Dougie Fresh show, and I miss him, and I just want to get this message out to him. And if y'all could play one video for me, it would be Biggie Smalls, I'm missing you.
Well, unfortunately, it's not that type of show. We're not. We're talking about current events and such, not music videos.
All right, thank you anyway.
No problem.
You have a good evening. Okay, that was interesting. Then maybe we need to look into playing some videos, but this is not BET, that type of
show. They got plenty of shows.
Yes, he can check it out. But
but speaking as this is the variety show. The first 4 shows we've talked about social, political issues. And the last 2 shows we're actually going to have some entertainment. We're not going to have music videos, but we're going to have some local talent that'll be on that will be on the show, and I think you'll enjoy that. So it'll be something different. As I said, this is the Variety Hour. Next week is Thanksgiving holiday week, so we're not going to have a live show next week, but tune back in the first and second weeks of December. So, Monica, as you were talking about the NAACP.
Yes, today I was privileged to one of my presidents at the Chesterfield branch, my president at Chesterfield branch. I attended at the Henrico County courthouse, and there was some local individuals there. I'm getting a little feedback that I'm going to meet with our other NAACP Henrico chapter, and we're going to talk to them about this organization called Raise Up.
Okay. Caller, please hold.
Yeah, about Raise Up. And what that was, it was some individuals that had protest and on the mechanics field for minimum wage. And there was a wonderful judge at Henrico County, and there was a deal was made, and that they serve community service, and they have to come back once they complete it, back in May of next year. And it almost moved me, just looking back on what I said last week in episode 3, Mike's Variety Hour. If y'all have not seen the show, check on YouTube, Mike's Variety Hour, episode 3. We on YouTube. And with that episode, we had talked about the young man, the 28-year-old African-American, Mr. Harris, that was 28, on that interview that I did. Remember I discussed about the minimum wage debate.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of interesting that we did have that. So,
okay. Well, we'll talk about that
we'll
further.
Let's see.
Caller, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
Yeah.
How are you both?
Okay, appreciate you holding.
Good, good. Listen, I just called to commend and to thank, somebody's trying to call me, and to thank her for going out into the community to make everything better. So I just want to say that I'm going to let you do the talking because you are the new Oprah.
Well,
that's what Margaret's been telling me. Yeah.
Well, that's the little feedback I got, but I got a few comments on some things on Facebook and YouTube, and I had talked to a couple of people that saw the show. So today, hopefully I can do a little bit better. With that caller, gonna make me glamorous and beautiful on Friday.
Yeah. Okay, good to talk to you both. You have a blessed one.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
So taking back on that, I had an interesting day today. After that court issue that was resolved nicely with the Henrico County Courthouse, I was later privileged from one of the members at the NAACP, and I just finished getting up the meeting from that, and it was a stand-up group. Like a Rise Up group. Have you heard that group?
No, I haven't.
Well, this is, I'm going to try to get an interview with this individual. He's actually working behalf and setting up different strikes. And he's doing a strike coming up on December 4th. It seemed like it's an organization, like a grassroots.
So they're going to have a strike?
Oh, yes.
For what?
For a minimum wage. What they're going to do is, they also I got a contact about home care. Do you know our home care providers? That's separate. Do you know that they make $8.88? I found that out tonight.
Okay. Hey, we got another call. Welcome to Mike's Variety Hour with guest Monica Ball. How you doing?
How you doing, Mike?
All right. What's going on?
Not too much. I'm just concerned about with the verdict about to come in Ferguson, Missouri. Do you think that that's going to trigger the protesters into rioting and looting and stuff again? Do you think that that it's not just going to be in Ferguson, Missouri, but in all states? I think it has the capability of just spreading. Because the African American neighborhoods now are really, really fed up with the way police officers and stuff, be shooting at our black people.
What do you think, caller?
Well, I like to think that, you can have a peaceful protest, but once you start, destroying, they don't destroy other people's stuff, they usually destroy their own neighborhoods, and that's where the problem begins, because you can't, the Chinese man down the street that make the chicken wings, he didn't do anything to me. Why should I go and destroy his store?
Right.
I don't believe in looting. I mean, you're not, going to do anything but hurt your own neighborhood. And once all of that's done, well, you're left with no stores, and you got to rebuild all this stuff, and it's bad enough. No one wants to relocate into your neighborhood now, and then you go and destroy your own stuff.
Yeah, but I don't follow the, basic tenets of respecting property rights.
Right.
Yeah.
In the sense of ownership, but I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I just wish that they could do it in a very peaceful way.
What do you think the verdict's going to be?
I really think that they're going to find him not guilty. It's just the way it is now. Ever since the OJ thing, white people just been looking to get one up on the black man. So when it comes to these cases, if that guy in Florida could shoot that kid and get away with it, and you have that young girl just shot in the air and got all types of years, the system is stacked against you, you know what I'm saying?
Well, Carl, I don't mean to interrupt. Let me ask you a question. I had an interesting conversation with someone, like a former friend and colleague. Did you see that FBI release letter of Martin Luther King? That is suicide letter?
Yeah, I have seen some of that where they try to call him a communist and other things, where they followed him and were taping his phone calls and stuff.
Okay. Do you think this might riot that, or probably not? Or it's just funny just to
Well,
time.
I'm going to say this. J. Edgar Hoover, he considered everybody as a communist back in the days. It was a different time, and
okay.
So, I wouldn't doubt it, they doing stuff like that, The government is not a tricky thing, the government is not secretive. It's just the members of the government that's secretive in the stuff that they do. And he was a guy that, he was in charge of our security, and,
yes.
with Martin Luther King, he had a large following. And the only way you can get a large following like that if you're a black man, you got to be doing something illegal. That's probably what his mindset was. So,
And like you said, the conditions back then, you had the Cold War. The Soviets, dominated
Cuba,
all of Eastern Europe and further. So any type of so I guess anybody's under suspicion if they were seen to be agitating the the fabric of the society at that time.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I just want to say, I like your show, Mike. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I just, want to say one thing to the protesters out there. No matter what the verdict is, you don't have to, go out there and destroy your home.
That's true.
There are other ways you can protest besides burning up your neighborhoods. It's not constructive.
That is true.
You know what I'm saying? It's
just,
a sad day, but
yes.
It is what it is.
Yeah. We just pray for peace, and that's all we can do.
I hope so, because I don't think we need anything like that right now. With the ISIS and everything.
Hey. Talk about ISIS. There's some woman that was local in Henrico County, who was arrested for basically allegedly lying to the feds about her involvement with getting people transported to ISIS.
To Syria.
She's from out here in Henrico County.
Facing 8 years in prison, $250,000 fine.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's amazing, isn't it? Something that you think is so far away, and you close your eyes, and it's right here beside you.
Yeah, and she had even a 7-year-old child, I believe they were saying, reporting.
Yeah.
You got people all over. I know there's been reports, some young ladies that have flown over there to become wives of those the ISIS guys.
Yeah, it's definitely a different time now. It's definitely something different, I hate to say it, but it just looks like it's just getting worse. It's just, it is what it is. It's not so much as the economy now. The economy actually seems to be picking up. It's just everything else is just going into a hen basket, But I think I called you once before, and I was saying you can tell all of the hatred in these ISIS people because they're cutting your head, they're cutting people's heads off without a sword, but with a knife. And you can't even cut a piece of chicken with a knife, So that's a lot of hatred that they have for us, It's just, And now that they're supposed to be getting this immigration thing set for tomorrow, And, it's going to set people off some more,
Yeah, you're talking about affecting 5 million illegal immigrants. They're talking about.
Undocumented immigrants, yeah. You know, what I can't understand is how are you going to fix 5 million undocumented immigrants when you can't even take care of the people that you already have here?
Well,
So,
how
are you going to do that?
The larger picture there is, I think it's probably with labor, keeps labor rates low if you have supply and demand.
Yeah.
You think about it, then the jobs that are, the competition. So you bring in more, then probably other things, also, you look at the, the nation's birth rate, Social Security, having more people, to pay into taxes and all.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But we'll be talking about that some more. So, Carl, we appreciate you calling. We got a call.
Yeah, I had
call.
fun sitting here talking to you and the lovely lady. I just want to say thank y'all.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks.
Thank you for your comments.
Okay. Thank you, caller. So, yeah, we got a number of things going. We got somebody local
Yes.
arrested for conspiring with ISIS. Hey, welcome to the Variety Hour. How's it going?
You was talking. They was talking about Hoover. I was back there during that time. Hoover was one of the most ruthless politicians that ever lived. He had something on every president we ever had.
That was his job.
and so he couldn't deal with Dr. King, and he taped.
Yes.
His bedroom and different things.
Yes.
Dr. King wasn't perfect.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? And so I came along. I was real militant back then. I was like a teenager. But today they seem to be. I look at this thing. What's happened to Bill Cosby? All this stuff happening. Any black man that get any kind of prominence, they'll try to destroy him.
Yeah, why is that coming out now?
He's an old man now.
Why is that coming out now? I've heard that,
Well, he's an old man now. I mean, we all. I'm not saying that. I don't think you should mistreat women or abuse them. Don't get me wrong. But Bill Cosby has been an icon. Now, did anything like this ever come out on Bob Hope?
No, I think.
I don't know if he did anything.
You know what, Carl? I think what it is that with the NFL, with the domestic abuse, it seems like, and then with the Jameis Winston, the guy at Florida State University, I just think the atmosphere, they probably focusing in on women now. And they've kind of rehashing a lot of this is now domestic violence and women, and with that Ray Rice issue about that his fiance but now wife. And I think now that, and especially with Adrian Peterson now he's getting banned for possibly for the whole year, but they talking about maybe longer.
Wow.
But I just think that a lot of African Americans now are getting in the spotlight. And as me being African American female, and I'm like, if it did happen, let's do investigation. If it not, but it just seemed like it's just too many women, and it just, I don't know, and I just didn't think Mr. Cosby, which is an icon to me. I watched him growing up when I was a child on the Cosby Show, and I would hate, and it would pain for me to think he was like that, because I have a lot of respect. But I think what kind of sparked this is that interview, and sometimes when you're not prepared and people send you out there and you don't answer the question, it's almost like I got you type of thing. Like the Mike Wallace used to do, and when they investigate you, like, and I just hope and I pray that the man didn't do anything, because everybody need to be vindicated if they innocent.
Okay. Well, thank you, caller.
All right.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. One of the things I had written down, why is that coming out now? But I guess what I've been hearing is that there have been, previous allegations, years past, but they were sort of, muted, and one of them, I guess, sounds like they paid him off.
Yeah.
So,
I just think his interview, think the interview made him in a bad light.
Yeah.
And when you don't answer the question, and if you didn't do it, you'll scream up saying no. And then maybe he just got tired. Maybe he had a bad day when the interview. You just don't never know.
Then you get judged in the social media,
Yes.
which isn't really objective.
Yeah,
You know,
see,
not
back
looking at the
then,
facts.
when that happened, you never really look at now. You say something and spread it out so fast.
Yeah.
Especially with Twitter, Facebook, YouTube.
Yeah, remember, look at YouTube. We're on there. You can check out the volunteers that have our own YouTube channel. It's Public Access Producers Association, PAPA, Richmond, VA. Hey, we got another call. Welcome to the Variety Hour. How you doing?
Hi, how are you tonight?
Okay, what's going on, caller?
Great. I was calling to comment about Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
Y'all kept saying, why does it come out now? I don't know all the details, but it seems like to me what I've seen on TV was that he had some kind of special. He was going to do something on TV, which has now been canceled.
Yes.
So all of people came out because he's getting ready to do something big. But the allegations he had that were dismissed a while back was because he paid a large settlement. And I believe Bill Cosby is an icon and everything else, but he's a man, he's a human being, and I hate that he might have done that, but he's no different than any other man. He has capabilities of doing things just like any other man. And then the fact that he sat there silent on TV didn't make me think they caught him off guard. He's prepared. If you've seen him on interviews about major issues, he's totally prepared. He's been on TV ever in front of the camera. To me, that was a gotcha.
Yeah, what call it? Sometimes I think
that won't stage fright.
Yeah, I don't.
And then you got these big stars also coming out.
Yes.
Big stars coming out. What?
Janice Dickerson, she just recently, supermodel, she came out and said something about that Bill Cosby did that too.
And it's another star too.
Yes. But Carla, what I was saying about that he probably wasn't prepared, because sometimes when they do these interviews, they probably tell him where they going. He was probably thinking he was going to promote his show, and they gave him an excerpt, and they might not even ask him if they was going to bring these allegations up. We don't know the whole story.
Well, that's true, but you give it the benefit of doubt.
Yeah.
But I kind of think he kind of knew what was going on, because before the interview, he knew the allegations were out there.
Yeah.
And the TV shows was already being pulled and everything else. So he knew what the interview was about.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. If he didn't do it, he should have said
he
did.
But I love Bill Cosby like any other Afro-American.
Yes.
So when you say he's a man, what are you leading on to?
I'm just saying, it ain't, he's paid off a lot of women who had allegations against him and stuff like that, And sometimes all it takes is one person to get the ball rolling all over again, and then other people coming up, because I guess there's no statute of limitations on it.
Yeah, but I think...
So, we're saying, then you got people with notoriety coming up and saying he did this to them. I mean, one lady said that one star, the second one, I can't remember who she is, but she said that she was drugged, woke up in a man's T-shirt, all she was being sexually assaulted, and she had been with Bill Cosby. I saw that today on TV.
Yeah, but
all social media is
but
information for stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But just the same, like I'm saying, the interview was what it was. It wasn't about no new show.
Yeah.
It was already out there where it happened.
So,
the allegations.
So should he be treated differently now, or what?
About what was going
are there any kind of criminal charges against him?
Pardon me?
Are there any criminal charges against him?
Not yet, I don't think so.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying, ma'am. If these women alleged that they did this to me, I would have filed a complaint with the court system. We don't know all the whole stories, but I do know I was talking with someone about that situation, and that football player Darren Sharp, and he was a local Richmond, and now he's in jail for doing something allegedly to something like Bill Cosby been doing. And to me, I don't care if it was a star or what. If you're guilty, I'm not taking no money. If you violated me, I would think that you want to file a police report. And see, I think if he did, sometimes these people, they'll pay people off because they don't want no exposure, and that probably happened. But if multiple women came in, I think a special prosecutor or somebody should have said, wait a minute, too many women complaining, we need to look into this. So,
well, I think that's what's going on now. That a bunch of new women are coming up with it, and you know they probably wait to get everything together and then announce that they're going to file charges or whatever. But then again, who knows?
But then also, you know, you got celebrities. You got celebrities,
and that'd be downplaying.
Yeah, you got celebrities, and they got plenty of money. A lot of these people attract people.
Yes.
And sometimes people lie. I don't know all the facts, and it's not out there. But you know, all those things have to be looked at. As you're saying, Monica, a lot of times they don't want publicity, so it's easier just to
pay them off.
Yeah, here, take this and leave me alone. Get lost.
But see, I think
that's what they said happened in the past so many years ago.
But you know what?
That he had all these big allegations against him so many years back, and he paid a large lump.
But you know what?
Sum of money,
Carla, when
everything. But you're not guilty till you're found guilty. So
yeah, but you know what, Carla, you brought a good point. I just remembered. I think a lot of this from the previous caller brought up that you remember he had a child out of wedlock.
That's right.
And I think what happened is that people are starting to believe these things because remember he swore up and down that wasn't his child, and they went through a whole paternity suit. So it just brought me back to thinking that wait a minute, he did have a child out of wedlock, and that some of these things are now rehashing probably because it's either these things are coming up and saying, and when he did that interview, it didn't make himself look good. And like I said, he might have felt guilt. He might guilt made it came out.
He didn't say I don't acquit. Don't acquit didn't fit. What are you gonna say?
Yes. He didn't want to get himself in trouble.
Yeah, it might be legal reasons that advised just to keep his mouth shut.
Yeah. It's a comment because what are you gonna say? I didn't do it. You got all these women saying you did it. You've been, you got a kid out of wedlock. You paid off allegations prior, which makes you look kind of guilty. You paid off and said, take it as you're innocent. Let it go to trial.
Kid out of wedlock versus rape are two different things.
Well, that's saying his infidelity. That right there is proving that he is capable of infidelity.
Well, that's what it's not saying we combining it, Mike, but what I think what she's saying is that it's like
he's no angel. Okay.
Yeah, it's a track record that he likes women, and that it's possible that this could happen. Not saying that we're advocating that Bill Cosby is guilty, but it just make you do like Mama Arsenio Hall said, that make you go, to that.
Yeah, but I don't have it. I can't hear you though. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Oh, now I can hear you. I couldn't hear what you were saying a few minutes ago. I apologize. But and then I'm gonna let you go. I won't take up too much of your time. A lot of times we put people on this pedestal because they won a Nobel Peace Prize or they've done this or done that. We forget at the end of the day, and different than anybody else, we're all human and we're all capable of doing anything.
Yeah.
It's like that guy with the church, the Rock Church. Look all he did for the community. He was extremely analyzed. Come to find out, he had raped young girls in 3-4 different states.
Yes.
He was unbelieving of what he could do, and he was a man of God.
Yes.
But that just goes to show you, no matter who they are and what they've done and what they've accomplished, at the end of the day, we all the same. We all human.
Yes.
Hey, you always hearing
it's a shame and it's sad, because you figure an Afro-American figure that we all look up to and all that. But at the end of the day, he's looking guilty right now.
Well, one caller.
Especially they interview him not saying that. Like I said, that won't stage right.
You know what?
Dude was like, he was looking like, I'm worried, I'm scared. Like, dang, this has happened to me again.
But you know what? You're looking not just Bill Cosby and his prominent figure. Remember Mr. Rogers' allegations.
That's right.
What was that?
That's right.
Yeah, child. Yeah, child.
Yeah,
he was child pedophiling or child.
Was that proven?
He got off the air, and then it was Pee Wee Herman. Remember? You think about all of these.
Pee Wee Herman back on TV now.
Yeah, he's back.
Yeah, that was self-abuse with Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, he was a prominent child figure in people's homes that people watch cartoons, and I was one of them.
That's right.
I was one of them, and then the guy that was playing on Sesame Street, some allegation came about that. It's just
okay.
Yeah. Sesame Street.
Voice of Elmo.
Yes, Elmo. Yes.
Y'all are going in and out, so I can't hear you, but I'm going to hang up.
Okay,
yes.
Thanks,
okay,
caller.
thank you, caller.
Thank you. Y'all have a blessed evening.
You too. Wow, that was some good topics. I mean, we kind of touched on a lot of issues, and like I said, that is in the news about Bill Cosby. And like I said, we're not promoting that he's guilty. We just only hope that if it is true or if it is not true, that everyone have a transparency in all of the information out there.
It's kind of lame if you have to drug somebody to be with you.
But you look at, we have seen that before. We have seen it before. I think it was the guy of Max Factor, the son. He did that, and he was drugging women. It's sad, but that happens. They did a story about that on Lifetime. So, and he had money. So sometimes I can believe people with money with that power, that they might want to do something like that.
Hey, you're watching Mike's Variety Hour. Give us a call, 915-5202. We're just talking about current events on the local scene, national. And if you have something in particular that you want to talk about, just give us a call, 915-5202.
Yeah, Mike, another thing I want to bring up, I think we talked about this early in the day.
Yeah.
We're talking about the youth. I don't know if y'all noted or not that what happened at the Clover Hill High School with 15 kids.
Oh, yeah, I saw something on the news. They were fighting.
Yes, fighting, 7:30 in the morning. I was at the NAACP chapter meeting, and one of the members, her son goes at the Clover High School, and just to tell you that our chapter, the Chesterfield, we might want to start getting more into the youth. And I was giving today the chair of a committee called AXO, and it's about like doing kids all the way up to a certain age. And I'm gonna get more information. I'm gonna talk about that on Friday from 9 to 10, a little bit more. I was as a guest appearance on this network at Comcast. And so it pains me, like one of our guys said, I call him the old dinosaur, but he was a EEO specialist, and he's loved to be involved, and he had was good friends with Arthur Ashe. And it pains him when he had heard about this situation, and that some of these kids, what was told to me, they're going to be up for assault charges.
Wow.
And
you know what they were fighting about? I saw something that said gangs, or I don't know.
Gang related. And I think, and one of these things that we wanted to know is that the rise of gangs. Now we see gangs in big cities like Los Angeles, New York. But you're saying gang activity here in Richmond, Virginia, and Richmond. Remember, just not in the news, Henrico cops cracked down on a gang that was breaking into homes. Remember that?
Yeah.
And it's getting scary that, so I was asked, and I've got to talk to another member of the NAACP in Henrico to see about doing something with the youth, because we got to get them in good activities. And the scary thing about the social media is that it's posted on social media of this fight. And so there's no way for anybody to say what they didn't or didn't do, because now they got it on tape. And it's scary now that, hopefully, these people, these parents is probably shocked and embarrassed that they might not even know what their kids are doing. But now with the age of technology and social media, they can find out. And the sad thing about that, one of my chapter members had brought up is, where was the police? Because I thought they had police or security in these high schools now.
Yeah, I know they have like one security guard or such.
Yes.
I don't know.
So it's almost like I'm thinking about maybe we need to do something. I don't know, Mike, did you remember you or your kids getting into safety patrols? Remember you used to have the little badge of honor? And I was in my high school, I don't know what now, but we used to be like safety patrollers in the high school, that if we saw certain things in the classroom or anything, you reported to your principal or your assistant principal or teacher. And I want to know, and that's a good question, and that I'm going to find out is, do we got safety patrollers in our schools?
It's probably not honorable, at least among these kids, right? What they call you? Was it call you a snitch or something?
Yeah, you're a snitch. Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
So I guess see where the facts come out there. I just saw some clips on the news last night, and that's about it. I don't know that much else about it. But what else is going on here? What's going on in Richmond socially? 915-5202.
Come on, call us. We waiting on some phone calls.
People talk about, they don't have any place to go, no good places to meet people, things like that. What do you think? Marriage rate in the United States is declining.
Yeah.
All kind of,
Well, I have my take on the marriage thing. Even though I'm not married. No, I don't want to start crying. But
yeah, because there was I mentioned that there was a Pew Research Council study, talking about the decline in marriage, but they were saying that the rate for marriage or people getting married a second and third time was increasing.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I can't speak on that because I've never been married, but to me, that if I was to get married, I got certain criterias. And I think a lot of time that back in the elder days, I say elder days, like my parents and stuff, is that when you meet with somebody and you meet their family, and I always tell me, it take you 2 years, the 2-year mark, but I guess we're jumping that broom. We started moving in with each other. We started having children out of wedlock. Things happen. I'm not perfect, but I'm thinking that the whole marriage concept has changed. Prenups. I tell my dad and mom about a prenup. Huh? You don't get prenups then. And, because I'm from the country, it's like, hey, you start dating a girl, you only date one girl, but now you can date multiple girls and multiple men now. And
it's online dating. I mean, you got a concentration. But, shouldn't people do that before if they're looking for the one, to get to know, people, learn about themselves, learn about other people.
Yeah, well,
see why people like them, who do they like, so you could get to the best match, so to speak.
Yeah, well, see, and my take on that is that I was very sacred about my family. I didn't want that individual, unless I'm really serious with, to meet my mom and dad, because I didn't want to hear well, where is he at? Why he not coming around? And then they get attached to the family, and then you got to explain why they're not around. And and to me, you kind of got to screen people. You ain't gonna screen people 100%, but it's pretty much when you start meeting them with their family and they start feeling a part of the family. And then the next step is that you might talk about marriage, but I really think it is, Mike, that the divorce rate and everything is finance. Finance is a big thing, and values, and I've got a caller.
Some other things are people. We'll continue. Hey, welcome to the Variety Hour. What's going on?
Yeah, y'all are talking about marriage nowadays. Look like they're having gay marriage is more popular than marriage nowadays,
Yes.
It's passing the law in different places and stuff. What's y'all take on that?
It's probably more in the news, but numerically that's not the case.
Well, my take is, ma'am, I have gay friends and stuff. And I don't.
Me too, but
but I don't. Let me finish. I don't have anyone that particularly married. I know that certain religious beliefs that some people do not agree with that. But for me, I'm open on that issue, because if that's the person that you truly love, and that's the person you want to be with, now who's to say that I have any say about that? And I think that that is kind of a hot topic, but now it's getting a little bit more acceptable in today's society.
Well, let me ask this to all of you. Why is it necessary? Okay, you meet with your
with the
significant other. Why do you need the government involved in your love life? Why is that necessary? Why do you need the government involved in your love life? And that's where you get, with the divorce and everything, you got to go. People say, well, we're in love, and some people bring in religion, but you got to go to the state to get a marriage license.
Right.
If you get out of a marriage, you got to go to the state.
Right.
Why are they even involved in that? I mean, you could go to and if you believe in marriage, you could go to your religious leader and get blessed. Why do you have to have the state involved?
Well, I think, Mike, when you talk about that, and caller, Mike, please interrupt if you want to say anything. I think pretty much is that the healthcare issue and some certain benefits they might feel like they need. I know they gave them the insurance company now has allowed civil partners to be added on policies.
I'm talking about people in general, men and women. I'm talking about all couples.
Oh, man and woman, not just gay. Oh, okay.
No, I'm not singling. I'm talking about all. I'm talking about all people because I've seen some stuff on YouTube. They advocate. It doesn't make sense for men to get married these days. It's like for what?
Well, because if I'm a woman, I would want the ring.
Well, of course. Well, yeah, I know.
Okay.
Women want to get married, but the way the laws are,
right.
You could get married. Judges are sentencing guys that to pay child support, and it's proven that the child's not even theirs.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And you could get married. That could happen. That's just one thing. But then you talk about the finances and all, and why get married and there's a risk that somebody's just going to take half your stuff and they didn't earn it.
Well, I guess it's old cliche. We was just
like they have on paternity court. They have so many promiscuous women out here, and it can go both ways, though. So.
Yeah. So, but why do you need the government involved in your love life?
Well,
anybody.
Well, they're trying to make it so like they have opportunities that they can get the same benefits as a heterosexual.
No, I'm talking about anybody. I'm talking about anybody, not just.
Well, Mike, when you say that, I'm thinking that it's always a cliche. And tell me, caller, I don't know if you're married or not, but when.
No, I was married one time.
Okay.
I'm divorced.
Okay, you're divorced.
You're saying once was enough?
Exactly.
Well, see, we can do that divorce now. Look, now we can.
That's what I thought I heard in your voice.
Look, now we can talk about the divorce. That was it painful? It's easy to get in.
Yeah.
Now, was it hard to get out?
It sure was. It definitely was. It was easy to get in, but hard to get out. And I was married 28 years. I'm a senior citizen now. I'm 58. Yeah.
Wow. Now, you just brung up your age. Is it hard for you to start dating and trusting people now?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Statistically, the male population is hard to find, even in the youth now, because even in the young people, I have a son that he's a good prospect.
Yeah.
He graduated from the University of Richmond. He don't have any children and everything, but his criteria is pretty high, like you said. Far as a mate concern.
Yeah.
But look,
it should be.
He don't want a girl with no children. He wanted her to, tattoos and all that stuff.
Yeah, forget that tattoo stuff. But anyway, that's just my thing.
Let me ask you, caller, this one question. What is the age limit, the top and the low? Do you want to date a 30-year-old guy?
Well, my husband was 5 years younger than me, and he
so
told a lot about his age, so I'm not a cougar or anything, but, I wouldn't consider myself a cougar or anything, but, that's time has changed. That's modern, like you just said, and time has changed and everything, so.
Okay.
Well, we appreciate your call. We got a call on hold, so we'll continue this conversation. Hey, caller, sorry we lost your call. Give us a call back. So, again, I asked a question for any of the couples. Why get the state involved?
Yeah.
I know, sure, there's legal, but this all comes down to legal. And when you're talking legal stuff, then you're talking about money, and then, finance and all. That all goes together.
But then you talk, like she said, divorce.
That's
it's easy to get in, but it's hard to get out. I don't understand that. And then it's like you said, maybe the question is, what about the prenup? That's another hot topic.
That could protect both people. Yeah. Welcome to the Variety Hour. How you doing?
How you doing, Mike? Great show you got going there.
Yeah,
I've been watching it for a couple of minutes, and I want to go back to the beginning when the young lady next to you was talking about, do you remember the safety patrol? And you looked and you smirked a little bit. You said, no, nobody wanted to be a safety patrol because nobody wants to be called a snitch. Well, those things, that particular attitude and look upon is what makes our community look bad. Since when did it become wrong to point somebody out for doing the wrong thing? Since when did it become wrong to be intelligent and to do good in school? When did it become wrong to speak proper English? When did it become wrong to dress like a young lady and to dress like a gentleman? When did that become wrong in our community? And when did it become right? to not tell when somebody's doing something wrong? When did it become right not to speak proper English? When did it become wrong to not go to school and not get an education? When did those things become right, and when did the good things become wrong? You know, that is a big question. That lady who started talking about the gay community, listen, if you're such a Christian, where is your forgiving heart? If you're such a good Christian, where is your loving soul? Because the God that I pray to is a forgiving and loving God. You understand? We have a lot of confusion going on in our minds and in our spirits in our communities, and it all begins with how we look at ourselves. If we don't love ourselves, how are we going to do anything positive, man?
Go, caller.
Okay.
That seemed like a poem. I like that. That is wonderful.
Well, you know, those questions got to be asked for real instead of asking silly questions or letting the people off the hook. Have them answer the question. Why is it wrong for a young man to do good in school? Why is it wrong that if I see somebody doing something wrong or breaking the law, why is it wrong for me to call a police officer or call the parent or call an authority and say, hey, that person is breaking the law or that person is doing something wrong. We should stop that. Why is that wrong?
Yeah, I know for young guys, if you're, you know, they'll call you a square, and the girls will want to go out with you.
Yeah.
And then you're ridiculed as, so, yeah, that's ridiculous. I saw some program, they were in a Baltimore school. Well, and when they called for the, you know, academic achievements at graduation, the kids wouldn't stand up because they were ashamed. And I've seen that even locally. When my kid was in, my oldest son was in junior high school, and they were announcing, you know, achievements, you know, all kind. And for that school, when they talked about, like, you know, Mr. or Miss Personality, everybody cheered. But when they acknowledged, like, the valedictorian, the kids that got the academic achievements, the crowd was silent.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow. You know?
Well, you know what? Let me tell you, it's a lot to do with our own fault.
It's culture shit.
It has to do a lot with our own fault. We got to stop blaming other people and look within ourselves for the answer. The answer's within ourselves. We celebrate and we put these images on a pedestal that are nothing but negative influences into our community.
Everybody wants to look cool, almost.
Yes. But,
we look at them as deities. We almost pray to these images that they put in front of us. You understand? Instead of looking inward for the answer. You know, the answer to living a correct life is inside you, man. You know, these young men and women are so confused that it is a horror story what's going on in the streets. It is horrible what's going on in the streets. You know what I mean? I saw a video the other day where this man is beating up this woman while she's holding her child, and there were like 5 guys around her. Not one man stepped in to help.
They probably had their phones out, huh?
Absolutely, you read my mind. Those guys had their phones out and were videotaping. What kind of men do we have in this society? What kind of a man do we have that'll have multiple children from multiple women? What kind of a man are we making that walks around with the street literally, not figuratively, literally with your ass hanging out?
Yeah, that's kind of silly.
Yeah.
But caller, we run out of time. Yeah. We appreciate you calling. We're going to discuss these things.
God bless you and your family, and God bless you, young lady.
You too.
Thank you. Thank you, caller.
Yeah, so a lot of adverse things in the culture there.
Yeah, he brought up, I think, about 10 or 12 issues. I couldn't count after he started saying one. But he made some good valid points, and that's why with the NAACP, we brought this issue up, and I just got off the phone with the chairperson at the AXO, and we're going to try to make some efforts. She got some contacts with the superintendents and boards, and I'm going to be making some personal contacts myself and see can we find out what's going on with our youth and that we can prevent them and tell them that it's okay. It's cool to be smart. It's cool to be going to school with your pants up, not your pants down, and your clothes sloppy. And it all starts out I remember when you could your teachers could discipline you, but I don't know if they look at Fox News, but Bill O'Reilly had a story with Jesse Waters. He's their reporter. In Philadelphia is one of these schools they call the worst schools at high school or something.
The graduation rate is like 50%.
Yeah, but they beating up teachers. It's on Facebook and YouTube. They actually knocked the teacher out.
Yeah.
And it was literally crazy that they knocked the teacher out.
I believe
Come
it.
on.
I believe it.
They knocked the teacher out. I mean, come on. We got to the point now that we knocking teachers out.
But then too, a lot of times also if, the teachers do try attempt discipline or when they're younger, even to call the parents.
Right.
The parents are like, what are you calling me for? Or I'm going to knock you out because you're dissing my kid.
Yeah.
But it's all, I guess, these dynamics that leads into, sort of disarray in the culture, and then getting back to the marriage issue where, the body, why it's on the decline, what we were saying before there.
Well, on the decline, it could be a possible thing. People change. I noticed when some people, like in my father's age range, and I don't know about you, Mike, when you got married, but it was almost like a pressure or do the right thing, especially you've been dating a woman for a long period of time and then you have them. And the thing is, then people start marrying their high school sweethearts, and then as they get older, they're like, well, wait a minute, this might be the only woman that I've been with. And temptation, that's one thing I see. And then the ratio of women to men. There's a lot of women out here. You can say it ain't, but I see.
Well, there's always been more women than men, but I've heard this, the conversation, women, they go, men and women socialize different. Some places you go, there's a bunch of, women, you go to a club, women sitting around a table, there's not many men, but the numbers that doesn't reflect the general society.
Well, I'm telling you, me being single, I don't see them out there. They good, they taking up, and they beating your head for
Also, there's another dynamic in the way that men, what I've read, that men and women look at things.
Right.
Like the women, you may have 10 women and you have 10 men.
Yeah.
You're going to have half the women, looking just at one or two guys that they consider the alpha males.
Right.
And then when there's not enough of those guys to go around, they say, hey, there aren't any good guys. From the men's perspective, out of the 10 guys, they may look at 8 of the women versus the women only looking at 2. So there's some perception difference. The actual numbers really aren't that much difference. I can
take that on you, but for me, I guess the quality.
Okay.
And I guess it is probably some out there, but to me, it's the quality. I'm not saying that I could take a man that's working at Wendy's, because I have dated a guy that worked at Wendy's, Burger King, but where do you want to go? And my problem is sometimes with these guys is that they want to sit back and let the woman do the show, and it's okay, because I like to run things, baby. But but sometimes you want the man to step up to be the man of the relationship, because I had a good father that at one point my mother didn't even have to work. Now I think that changed now, that the men work and the woman stayed home, made sure the meals was done, and take care of the children, keep the house clean. I think that's another topic.
Well, there's a bunch of women out there now saying, hell no, I'm not doing that.
Well, there's some women that like that too.
Well, some do, but a lot of
you go to California,
liberation,
and some people, a short pump, you go
want
up
to get
there.
their own,
Yeah, it's some women that enjoy that, have a doctor or something, a professional that's making some money, and they're enjoying that want to be a mother, that don't want to work. Because see, and when you say that too, is that, and what that caller had said before, I'm thinking when you got 2 parents working, and then you don't have that time, depending on what the kids, I think sometimes that I'll see a lot of these kids and getting to a lot of things is because that the parents are not spending time with the kids now. you know, and it was good to have one person in the home to see some things what the kids are doing.
Yeah.
And then when you have a single family home or a divorced home,
It's hard.
It's
Being
hard.
a single, yeah.
it's hard,
Yeah,
especially you raising kids. I don't know about you, but
Yeah, it's not easy. Well, I grew up,
yeah.
you know, it was always one of my parents was at home. Usually my mother didn't work. My father worked,
Yeah.
you know, took care of us. If y'all watching out there, y'all did a good job. But it's different. We got 5 minutes left. 915-5202. It's not easy. It's not easy.
Come on, give us a call.
And like you said, you know, in terms of the quality, that's on both
Right.
on both sides.
Well, I didn't say that.
Well, I'm not saying, but
I know.
we're hearing the news. They're always down. The men,
No,
you know,
I was
so many
talking-
in jail, so many,
Mr.
this, that,
Mike.
and that. And
I was talking about myself. I know, some good men out here can't find no good women. I don't believe that because I see it all the time. But I'm just saying that for me speaking, I know these guys out here, single father, and I had a dad that raised me like a single father. So believe me, I commend that.
Okay. We got a call, and I think this is probably going to be a good question.
See, we didn't have to round it up.
Hey, welcome to the Variety Hour. How's it going?
What's up, Mike? I'm sorry I'm calling back again, but I got one small statement to say.
Yeah.
These women and these young men that are having these kids, have anybody ever heard of a contraceptive? Has anyone ever heard of a condom or a pill or an IUD? You understand? Has anybody ever heard that? With all the stuff that we got going, in order to get a contraceptive is so easy.
Yeah.
How ignorant.
Yeah,
How ignorant have we become?
Yeah, you can have all the sex you want. There's plenty of birth control. You don't have to get pregnant.
Yeah, I think call is a choice.
Okay, thanks, Carl. We got
Thank
a
you.
couple minutes left there.
Yeah,
I mean,
he brought up. I think it's a choice. Some people don't want to do it.
And it's not just young. It's not just young people.
It's older ones.
Because I was talking with a friend a couple of years ago. It was a female friend, and she was saying, "Well, you know, we're just friends." And she was saying, "Well, you know, if you know, going out and the time is right, you know, just not going to go with it. You know, it couldn't wait a day to you know, to wait. You just had to do it right then. So, you know, it's not just the young people, but getting back to the quality people thing. It's not well, you know, being a single parent is not easy.
Right.
It's not easy.
Well, like I said, like I said,
I wouldn't wish it on
caller,
anybody.
everybody makes some bad choices, and we just only hope and learn that we learn from our bad choices and make them better, because we're not always perfect. Even when my mother and my father, even my grandmother and my grandfather told me to do something, as people and as children, you're going to try that. We ain't going to listen hard-headedness. And sometimes we just hope that when we do listen and see our mistakes, that we grow from it. And then when we have our own children, we try to hope that they don't make the same mistakes. So that's all we got to do.
Yeah, it's hard to see your kids do stupid stuff, and you already told them that's not the right way, or you explained to them, try to use some kind of reason. But hey, we got 1 minute left. Monica, I want to thank you again.
Thank you
for coming on the show and discussing the issues with us, and giving your input. You any excuse me? Any final words there?
I'll just tune in on Friday from 9 to 10. I'll be back with another show with a nice young lady I spoke with today in regards to being booked. And so stay tuned, and hopefully I can be on the air with y'all the first of the year.
Hey, check us out on Facebook, Public Access Producers Association, PAPA, Richmond, VA. We're on Facebook and YouTube.
And then also, don't forget Mike's Variety.
Oh, yeah. I got my own channel there, which we're sharing there. So check it out. Give us some likes. Write your comments down there. So we won't be here next week, but the week after, first week of December. Have a good Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Thanks.